Hello everyone, in this video let us learn how to create an issue using Jira REST API. So we have been learning how to use the Jira REST API, and today I want to discuss something really important, and that is to create an issue using the REST API. Now to create an issue you have to use this endpoint or REST API /3/issue, and the method is of course post. So if I go to my talent my talent API tester, I have to use this endpoint and the method has to be post. Now, if you take a look at this particular reference document, uh, of course, you need to have the permission. So the user who is going to be making this call using REST API should have rights or permission to create an issue in that particular or a specific project, which is all fine. But when you create an issue, you have to, let us say, enter some basic mandatory details like the project name, issue type, and the summary. So I think these three are the essential fields that you need to fill in, and you can actually validate it if you go back to your, let us say, Jira instance. And right now I'm on cloud. If you click on the create button on top, right now I'm trying to create an issue, or rather I should say uh, a task in my creative team Scrum project. My issue type is task, my summary is of course this field, and these are the only three fields that are mandatory when you do it from the UI. Now, if you look at this reference document, you have the example of a JSON file that you can pass to this particular method, which is the method to create an issue. Like if you pass this JSON using the post method, REST API 3/issue, you need to use this JSON file where you can have uh, different fields like summary. You can specify a parent of this particular issue type, components. You can also have some values updated to your custom fields. What else do we have? The option to specify the project. So we can also specify a project, uh, and you need to specify the. I mean, if you want, you can also have description, reporter, fixed version, labels. You can update time tracking fields. You can update um, due date, and so on. So we can actually do a lot of things with this REST API. And before I use the REST API, I will show you how to create an issue, and we'll see what all we can do. So let us say if I have to create an issue using the UI, like this is a new task from the UI. I'm just filling up the form just to see how it works if I'm able to. Okay, this is the new task from the UI, and the priority is low, which is fine. Let us create this issue, and if I create this issue, it will be listed here, hopefully in my backlog, because I'm working on a Scrum based project. And if I open this issue, I can then also take a look at the details, and this is all clear. I mean, this is of course a very simple way to create an issue, but let us do the same thing using REST API. Now, if I go to my Talent API tester, I can use the same JSON file that I can copy from this documentation, but I don't really want to fill up custom fields and other fields. I just want to fill up the basic mandatory fields, that is the summary, which is I'm able to define here. So this is my new issue from REST API. I need to specify the issue type and project as well. And for issue type and project, I need to specify their IDs. Now, you can find this ID easily if you go to your Jira instance, and there's a way to do it. If you, let us say, click on the create button. I mean, this is of course one of the way. If you click on, let us say, the issue type, and or first let us do it for the project. If you do a right click and do an inspect element, you will be able to figure out, hopefully, your project ID. I'm just guessing that this is possible. So yes, I can see here that my project ID. No, not really. Not yet. So this is my project ID here. If you look at the project options, you can see here that it says my creative Scrum CTS project has a value of 10024. So I think this should work. So I'll change it to, oh, it is already 124, but I have to also figure out the issue ID. So for issue ID, I can do an inspect element on the issue type, and hopefully I can find it somewhere. So if you notice here, uh, the issue type ID is 10001. So okay, I mean, this is one of the way of finding it, but you can always go to your admin section, and if you usually if you click on the edit link for, let us say, any type of entity like maybe issue type or project, you will be able to figure out the ID when you look at the URL. So this is of course the easiest way of doing it. So my issue type ID is, I believe, 1001. If I go back to my instance, I can see here that this is correct. But of course, you can change it if needed. So let us see, if you click on the send button, you can see a response which is good. It says 201, which is hopefully good because it is in green color. And you can see here that it has returned this CTS-15. Now, if I go back to my board and if I do a refresh, hopefully I should be able to take a look at my new issue. So this is my new issue from REST API, and I can see here the fields, like for example, the status is to do, priority is low. Of course, you can change it to high if you need, but we didn't really fill up any other field apart from the issue type, summary, and of course project. Let us do one more thing just to test. Before I test it, I just want to break this. So if I change my ID to, let us say, my issue type ID to something else like 10101, and if I click on send, it will give you an error that valid issue type is required, because this is not the valid issue type for this particular project. There could be an issue type that may be there in your Jira instance, but that should also be added in your issue type scheme of your project. So let us also try to do maybe one more thing. Let us try to update priority. So I'll copy the priority here, and hopefully I should be able to uh, make it work. And priority ID is 20,000. I'm not sure whether this is correct or not, but what I will do, I will go to my instance, and if I maybe uh, take a look at the priority and do, maybe, let us say if I want to change it to high. So if I look at my my URL, I can't figure out the ID for these options. I can go to the priority field and then I can take a look at these options. But if I do an inspect, usually this works. So if I do an inspect element on the priority, I can hopefully see something. Let us see if I can find something. So I'm able to take a look at different IDs. Not really an ID, but it says option ID medium 41, lowest 42. Can I use something like maybe I'm not sure, high hyphen 40? I don't think it will work. But let us see if we can try that. Usually this is the ID for the CSS ID. It is not really the actual ID. But what I can do in this case, I can quickly go to my admin section and I can find out. I mean, there are different ways of finding it out, but uh, this is the simplest way. If you go to the priorities, and usually you should be able to find out here, I guess. If you look at high here, if you click on edit, and if you look at, let us say, the ID here, uh, so it says ID is equal to 2. Let us see, let us try with 2. Let us see what we can do here. If I click on send button, so yes, I'm able to create an issue, and 2 was actually the priority for high. Now, if I go to my instance and if I do a refresh, let us see if we have a new issue. So yes, there is a new issue, and if you take a look at the priority, it is indeed high. So this is, of course, a very simple example to create an issue, and I hope you get an idea that how to basically pass the right JSON file in your method uh, to talk to Jira. So right now the method is of course post because we are creating an issue, but when you pass the JSON file, you have to make sure that you pass the relevant fields, at least the required fields. So this is all I wanted to discuss in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.